All right, let's talk about something that feels, well, impossible. I'm talking about those giant, super intimidating company annual reports. But stick with me, because today we're going to turn that feeling of dread into some real confidence. You know the feeling, right? You open up a company's 10K and bam, it's like a 200-page wall of text just hits you in the face. It's all jargon and tiny numbers, and honestly, who has the time for that? It's no wonder most of us just, close the tab. But what if I told you there's a system, a simple, repeatable cheat code to scan these things and just pull out the juicy, critical info in minutes, not hours? That's exactly what we're going to do. By the time we're done, you'll have the map to navigate this stuff without getting totally lost. Okay, so Section 1. Let's get right into it. Before we even glance at a single number, we have to figure out the most basic thing of all. What does this company actually do? We're on the hunt for its core story. And here's the best tool I found to cut through all that corporate jargon. It's a simple 3-question framework. You'll want to look for the business overview section, usually right at the beginning of the report, and just ask yourself these 3 things. 1. What do they sell? 2. Who do they sell it to? And 3, the big one, how do they actually make money from it? And here's the golden rule, really. If you read your own explanation and you still can't explain what they do in a single sentence, that's a huge red flag. Seriously, if a company can't even explain itself simply, it's probably way too complicated. Just put it in the too hard pile. It's okay to move on. Okay, want to dig just a tiny bit deeper? Look for something called the segment breakdown. This is like popping the hood of the car to see where the real power is coming from. So take a supermarket, for example. Maybe 60% of their money comes from food. Well, that tells you food is the main engine. But it also tells you where their biggest risk is, right? A problem with their food suppliers is a way bigger deal than an issue with their clothing section. All right, Section 2, we've got the story down. Now it's time for the numbers. And hey, don't worry, you absolutely do not need to be an accountant for this part. We're not going to get lost in the weeds. We're just looking for one thing, the fuel that keeps this company running. So you're going to see 3 main financial statements in every report. Here's a quick cheat sheet. You've got the income statement. That's basically sales and profits. Then there's the balance sheet. Think of it as what we own versus what we owe. And finally, the cash flow statement. This one's often overlooked, but it's crucial. It shows you the real cash coming in and going out. Now, if you're doing a quick scan, there is one number that matters more than almost any other. It's called free cash flow. You'll find it right there on the cash flow statement. It's the actual cold, hard cash left over after the company pays all its bills and invests in its own growth. And why is this the holy grail? Well, because profit can be fuzzy. You can play games with accounting, but cash is real. It's much, much harder to fake. This is exactly why they say cash flow is king. This leftover cash is the money the company can use to do all the good stuff. Pay you a dividend, buy back its own stock, or pay off its debts. Bottom line, if a company has strong, growing free cash flow, you're probably looking at a pretty healthy business. Okay, Section 3. We know what they do, and we've checked the fuel tank. Now, it's time to play detective. Every single business has risks, but some of the most dangerous ones are kind of hidden in plain sight. Let's go find those silent killers. So every report has a risk factors section, but honestly, a lot of it is just noise. Your job is to ignore all the generic boilerplate stuff, like economic downturns. Yeah, no kidding. Every company faces that. What you're really hunting for are the unique risks, the ones specific to this company. Like, do they depend on one single supplier for everything? Are they about to get hit with a massive new regulation? Those are the ones you want to circle. Now, besides what the company tells you to worry about, there are 2 big red flags you have to look for yourself. First one is called dilution. This is basically when the company keeps printing more shares of stock and your little piece of the pie gets smaller and smaller. The second one is debt. Look, borrowing money is great when times are good, but when things turn south, that debt can become a real anchor that sinks the whole ship. And here's exactly what that dilution looks like in the real world. You can find a number called shares outstanding buried in the financial statements. And if you see that number just creeping up year after year after year, that's it. That's your slice of the pie getting smaller. It's a sneaky little thing, but it can be a huge drag on your investment over time. Okay, deep breath. We've covered the business story, the one key number to look for, and the hidden dangers. So now let's put it all together. We're going to build a super simple, repeatable checklist. This is your action plan. Here we go, your 5-step scan that'll take you just a few minutes. Step 1. Use that what, who, how framework to nail down what they do. Step 2. Find their main engine by looking at the segments. Step 3. Jump straight to the cash flow statement and find that free cash flow number. Step 4. Scan the risks but only circle the unique ones. And finally, Step 5. Do a quick check for dilution and too much debt. That's it. And that's how you do it. By just focusing on those 5 spots, you've basically read the map of the entire business. You get the story, you get its financial health, and you know its biggest threats, all without drowning in 200 pages of corporate speak. You've just pulled the signal right out of the noise. So, there you have it. You have the toolkit now. The next time you're faced with one of those massive reports, you'll know exactly where to look. So I'll leave you with a question to chew on. What part of a company report still trips you up the most? What's the one section that still feels a little bit intimidating? Think about it, and we'll see you next time.